Today's episode, I'll be talking with a brother, a friend, Akorede Aregbesola. He's a podcaster and generally is a presenter.
Sometimes difficult people can actually be easy, but for the most part, they are difficult in handling some specific situations. Traits that compound and create a difficult person or experience a difficult person has to do with their mindset first off. A difficult person would always disagree 99.9% at every situation or at any scenario. They believe that their decision, their belief, their own contribution is the best or is everything.
Let's assume that you're having a conflict with a difficult person, right? What is the smart way to approach it so not to escalate it beyond what is happening at that moment?
Personally, I would say you should.
Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I'm not just alone. Akorede.
Akorede. Akorede, yeah. That's nice. Yes. That's nice.
Akorede Aregbesola.
Yeah.
And that's why we're having this conversation right now.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm doing great things for the good of every other person.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So, we want to talk about how to deal with difficult people, right? And so, you've basically, the time I've known you, you dealt with different people, right? And I'm sure you dealt with difficult people too. Yes, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So what defines a difficult person?
To give a definition for a difficult person will, not necessarily be the best, but to give a description about difficult people will be the best in this scenario. And I hope my example would make sense. For instance, now, people had a lot of difficulties, not with the hamster itself, but the people at the back end of hamster combat. Why? Because of the reality versus what they were expecting. So that situation or that scenario would make sense in the sense that sometimes difficult people can actually be easy, but for the most part, they are difficult in handling some specific situations or, let's say attitudes. So a difficult person from the scenario I gave is somebody that you are not easily flowing with, you're not easily connecting with just because of various factors: attitude, upbringing, belief, and the present situation. Yeah. Wow. So what are the common traits or behaviors of the difficult person? Thank you for asking that question. And thank God I've already laid the foundation. Yeah. Attitude, background, belief, and what was the last one I mentioned? The present situation. So traits that compound and create a difficult person or experience a difficult person has to do with their mindset first off. A difficult person would always disagree 99.9% at every situation or at any scenario. They believe that their decision, their belief, their own contribution is the best or is everything. So they have a, shall I say, tight view to other things. They tend to blind their gaze from seeing what others are seeing.
Yeah.
So that's a trait, or those are traits, as I've mentioned.
Yeah. So let's assume that you're having a conflict with a difficult person, right? So what is the smart way to approach it so not to escalate it beyond what is happening at that moment.
That's nice. I would say you should read this book written by Dale Carnegie, how to, speak with people and, influence people across all strata. Now, it's vital that we also understand a certain principle. How do we deal with a difficult person in a present situation? Have I even experienced such of recent? Because I can't just be citing previous ones. Probably the person has changed. But this probably a fresh, recent example might make sense. So how did I deal with a difficult person of recent? If you checked what I said earlier, you have to be calm. You have to be present. You have to listen. Communication still comes in play to play a powerful role in this conversation. You have to know how to communicate with that difficult person.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with your words.
Yeah.
And you have to also be smart with your words.
Yeah.
So there are two ways. You are careful, but at the same time, you are smart with your words. Because what can take you to win a case in court is words and communication.
Yeah.
Same thing now applies to, we are all lawyers in the life market, and everybody is preaching that, okay, my lord, here is my client, is the one that is giving me this issue, but this is my own standpoint and view. The reason why it's difficult, or the reason why it's acting difficult, is because of so. And when you've stated your reasons, and when they look at that reason, they will be able to see if you are right or the person is wrong. You get, so like that scenario just downplays the fact that you have to always look at your words and, be careful and smart about using it.
Yeah, that's cool. So how do we set boundaries with these people?
There's another book I would recommend, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. One of the laws, he mentioned that, now this is for a difficult person, like dealing with difficult people. Since they always believe that their decisions, everything they do is superior, you'd have to use this law that says that don't try to prove that the person you're speaking with is at fault or wrong. First, give them their flowers. Okay, you're right. Take. Receive it. The person will receive it. Now you've broken their guard. And when you've reduced their guard or their fence, then you can now table, okay, but now look at it from this angle. But if you're starting with, no, you're wrong. You will be on that case for years. not this, years. So when you give them flowers first, you now start cutting the flowers with scissors, small, and telling them, okay, this is the reality, take this. So there's a law around that, even in, that 48 laws of power.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many friends that they usually tell me, my boss is this. In fact, I think a few days ago, I was speaking with a friend, and she was telling me reasons why she left. She said, I think she left the job, I think 5 days after, just 5 days after getting the job. And reason why is because the boss is a difficult person. The boss, very difficult. And, so how can people manage, difficult bosses, difficult co-workers, in their place of work?
In their place of work. I'm recommending books like this. You must start feeling like, why is he recommending books? But books would generally and basically change your life. So there's this book that John C. Maxwell wrote. 7, is it 7? Or I've read so many books, I can't even pinpoint it. So leading from anywhere in an organization, that's the summary of the book. And you might be like a gate man, and you're having it very difficult with your boss. How do you communicate? How do you still, work in that scenario? Now that's like from bottom up. There's also a scenario where he said, okay, between your colleagues and, even between leaders and leaders, so like there are various ways you can handle it. Firstly, you have to understand the personality of the person, and you have to know, and that's where the Holy Spirit comes in place, right? You have to know when to start a conversation or deal with a situation at a particular point. That's how you deal with people in your workplace. Workspaces.
Well, I hope you guys are getting value in this conversation. And can you just give us like a final thought and we wrap it up?
Yes, I can be a difficult person, so I'm not left out. I'm not exempted, and that's what I want everybody to learn. You can be the difficult person in that situation, but my advice is don't always try to be a difficult person to others. Make things easy for others, and when you make things easy for others, there's a way that life will revolve around itself and make things easier for you.
Wow. Simple. Thank you so much, Piki. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring my request. I'm so grateful.
So yeah, this is just a little admonition. Please follow his channel. He is providing value to thousands of people, and what he's doing is quite great. And I have to also mention that and give him his flowers.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you find value in this video, make sure you click the subscribe button, like, share. Share it to your friends, share it to your family. And also, if you want to connect with me and my guest and even the TV show, go down in the description below or in this video and you see everything. Everything right there. And I can't wait to see you in the next video to connect with you. Let's go.